Hey, it's Jessica, back to my universe where I can talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. And today I'll be creating some Saint Valentin OCs based off of Cupid. So the origins of this idea was basically, it was probably like end of January, probably like 2, 3, 4-ish weeks ago. At the time that I'm recording this, it's le 10 février. I haven't seen the date in English in so long. Actually, last week, is that really that long? Anyway, but basically, I was gonna go on Netflix. Then I got the little screen that was like XOXO playlist. Then I was like, oh yeah, Valentine's Day exists. And I immediately got this idea, oh wait, I should do something. And I was immediately like, a Cupid? Someone who's supposed to feel love, not feeling love. Obviously, this is a very real concept, and there are people like this, but I don't know, it just really interests me right now. So the first main character I came up with was the main character. I made him a boy because I felt like drawing a boy, because I feel like guys are way harder to design because usually people just slap on a generic fantasy outfit or some pants and a t-shirt and walk away, but I did not want to do that. So here is the first character. I wrote down some names that I had in mind for him, and the main things that I really wanted for his design were spirals in that like Uji Lolita style. So as you can see that little thing that I really liked. And I also really like the silhouette of having shorts. I was thinking about giving him an axe or scythe at first. And Code Geass waist. And here, you see more of his design, the shorts. This is where you're gonna see more of his current designs that I actually ended up going with. This was an idea for his like regular design when he's just in his human form, but like, guys, it's literally winter, not summer, during the story, because it's around Valentine's Day. Then more ideas. Here, I think this is where I was like, fine. This is where I was finalizing it. This is just like me trying to like get his sort of body type down. Hair ideas. So you may have heard me say in his human form, and I'm gonna start explaining more of the world because I realized that I didn't do that before. Basically, the Cupids, which I'm planning on changing that name, that's just a work in progress. For now, I'm not really sure. This is all just for now. Everything might change. I might completely change my mind. Also, I had a lot of trouble with his design. This is actually my second try at, like, drawing his design digitally. I did it. I was frustrated. I didn't like it. Deleted that thing completely and came back to it in this one. And this is what you're seeing right now. I mostly had more trouble with his design. That's, like, more so in his... Okay, I need to explain this. So, basically... Cupids are a division of angels that are specializing in romance. However, little twist, I'm thinking that they might be humans that got promoted. And like, yeah, maybe. We're not sure yet. Maybe they'll just be like popped into the world and they're just laser focused on this. But I feel like it might be a little more interesting. So anyway, to have this whole phenomenon happen, I'm thinking that maybe he's like half human and half like promoted human, and this gives off the phenomenon of him just not understanding why romance is such a big deal. So he has his Cupid school which is basically like him learning how to matchmake and all that. He gets straight A's. He's awesome at it, but he comes out and he still doesn't understand why romance is such a big deal, which enter the beginning of the story. What happens in the beginning of the story is that on Earth, because the Cupids, they live in their own little world, kind of detached from the world, but it's like, it's not on Earth. They don't live on Earth with us. So, basically, because he doesn't really understand why romance is such a big deal, he's getting sent to Earth to observe and see what love is like and what people are like around Valentine's Day. And also, little bonus, there are these, like, the opposites of Cupids that are basically trying to, like, get couples to break up and stuff. If you can hear my hands moving, I'm so sorry. I need a talk with my hands while I'm explaining stories. It's like, I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, there's a lot of them unless Cupid's around. Now, I'll be explaining how these divisions of Cupids are made later. But for now, all you need to know is that there's a lot of them on Earth, and less of the Cupids on the good side. So they need help. So he's sent to Earth to go observe and help out. Because in his little Cupid school, they probably learned how to fight too, because, hey, let's be honest, a lot of these kids are probably going to end up fighting on Earth. So you may be wondering why there would be Cupids on Earth. It's to fight off the other Cupids, because the other Cupids, they're the bad guys, and they're trying to be like guardians of people's love, people's relationships, basically. So he's basically kind of like sent there and goes to meet his cousin, who has a name. Guys, let's be so happy. I actually came up with one name. But I do want our main character for his last name to be Valentine, because I think that's just cute. I ended up really liking the colors of his design. I'm not really sure. I might tweak them a little bit. But the more I draw him in the future, the more I'll figure it out. I'm pretty happy with it right now. I might make his shorts shorter, or I don't know. I'm just not really sure how I feel about his design when he's in his Cupid form, because I'm just not sure. I might make him look... Oh yeah, I was gonna add wings to him, but I kind of forgot about that. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I did want to give him like kind of darker colors for his design, because I like the vibes, and also a lot of his reference pictures were him with like darker colors and not like in the bright pink colors, to allude to his potential destiny, and also the fact that he's not really like the other Cupids. He's not like other girls, guys. I imagine that our main character would kind of be a pretty dry texter, and also an introvert. Maybe he doesn't mean to be a dry texter, he just doesn't really want to text you. Maybe he's better at calls. But I guess with that being said, here's our main character, something Valentine, and onto his cousin. So when I first started like brainstorming for Kara or Carolina, I'm not really sure yet, for Kara, I went straight into the hair, because the hair I love being creative with hair, especially for this story where I can actually like go crazy. So ideas, I really like this shape. And oh, these are notes from the videos that I was watching. Those are just some artists. These are some more so outfit ideas, like the silhouette. Yeah. I also drew Riley. I love her. But yeah. Here I have some more ideas for silhouette. I was actually gonna go with this for like her everyday outfit, but you'll see later I don't actually go with that. The inspo for her sort of style is Lolita. Definitely. So here, I really like this drawing so much. I like her round face. I was originally gonna be like, oh wait, but a heart-shaped face would make more sense. But I really like how that round face really goes well with like the hair and stuff. I really like the silhouette. I might do something with this, but actually, for now, I had the thought that maybe she'd have like a kitchen knife as her weapon, because she works in a cafe. But like the main inspo for that was mostly just Hanukkah, honestly, because I love him. This was an idea for her work outfit when she's in like her angel form. But these are just some more ideas that I had for her. I thought maybe she could have some sort of thing that's like a little lace and it's kind of like in a V shape. I do like this, which I do end up like going with a bit. I do end up elaborating, that's what I remember. More ideas. I really like this one because you kind of have that whole waistcoat vest thing going on that will like tie her in with her cousin. More ideas for dresses. I ended up really liking this and this. It's just like, ugh, felt too complicated. I do really like this. It's really getting baby doll, but it's not what I was looking for. Ended up really liking this and this from this page. So I did end up forgetting to mention this, but her cousin's weapon is a dual scythe, and for her, it took me a while. I was thinking kitchen knife, then I was thinking, oh, maybe a huge pair of scissors. Some random ideas. I didn't want the basic, oh, sword, katana, gun. I was also thinking of a, like, handgun for her, because I just thought that would be cute. But then I ended up landing on a heart-shaped meteor hammer, which, I'm in love with now. Just, like, picturing her wielding that thing and being, like, really good at it, and spending hours, which I'm not saying that other weapons don't take hours to master, but just imagining her taking hours off her day, being like, okay, we're gonna devote the last 6 hours of me being awake, or something ridiculous like that, well, ridiculous to me, of my day, trying to practice this, or something. But anyway, as you might have picked up on earlier, she works at a cafe. And since she works at a cafe, probably like some sort of cute cat cafe that has a bunch of romance books in it, she's also a romance fanatic. I think I focused more so on her personality than her cousin's, because I just, like, the pinkness of her outfit just got me excited. So, she works in this cafe, and she's, like, the boss, and she's really sweet and nice, and everyone loves her. She's a romance book fanatic, which makes her, like, have a bunch of romance manga in her store, and just, like, romance books. Nothing weird, though. Nothing weird. Just, like, that cute, cheesy stuff. And, I don't know. I really like the ballet shoes that I gave her. I feel like that's really cute. And also, I did end up changing the color of the canvas a lot, because I feel like giving it contrast, more so of a contrast, instead of adding a color that's complementary, like the same color but in a different hue, really did end up helping me. But anyway, Kira Valentine is the cousin of our main character. Our main character is sent to her to be, like, her partner, because I guess maybe something happened to her previous partner. So he's filling out with her and also learning how to do the stuff, because even if he went to school for this, he's probably going to need someone to show him the ropes and all that. And he's probably going to need help. I actually forgot what colors I used for her. I feel like this looks so weird. I'm just like, that is totally not what I used for her. But anyway, her whole role is trying to be like, hey, this is how we do things. But then, like, and they, like, get close together because they're cousins. They talk about their old stuff. Remember when we were kids and this, that happened? So, like, they catch up. They're close. They're all that. But then we have a little run-in with our local not-so-Cupid. Gotta come up with a better name than that. But we have a run-in with our local not-so-Cupid. And obviously, they know each other because they're local to the area. But something is telling us that she knows him. Like, she knows him. So maybe our main character does a little digging and finds out and tries to find out a little more about Kara and their local villain. I really need to find a good name. But she has something to do with what made our local not-so-Cupid become a not-so-Cupid. And our protagonist is very suspicious of her. Like, obviously he trusts her and everything, and he loves that she's being so accueillant, and that's welcoming in English, that she's being so welcoming. But she just feels a little, oh, bro, I'm like a toddler who keeps on mixing up everyone's pronouns. Like, I'm sorry, guys. But he just has an inkling that something more is going on, so he decides to do his own digging. And I don't want Kara to have this minor role where she's just, like, the girl of the story. That, like, we just have her to be a girl in the story. Can you tell by her design that I was watching Madoka Magica during this? I still need to watch the last episode, but, like, anyway, I just really picture her as the really sweet, caring type, and maybe that comes to bite her in the back when it comes to our antagonist. Maybe something happens between them where there's some sort of betrayal. Kara having obviously the best intentions, or maybe not. Maybe we peel apart her little facade and she ends up not being the person who we think she is. Or maybe she truly did have the best intentions. But anyway, on to our antagonist. And here is some brainstorming that I did for our villain. This is, like, ignore this. This is just from, like, for, like, another story that I have in mind, just because I didn't want his silhouette to be too similar to another character who I really did want to have long hair too. For his design, I really want some blue, some black. A lot of the inspiration that I got for this was from VK and, like, emo. So some hair ideas here. I really liked the whole sleeveless thing with the armbands or whatever. And I also really liked this weapon to be like, oh, he's incomplete because of like, he's incomplete. He's just incomplete, guys. So, like, all the asymmetry in his design that I plan on having, and even his weapon being one half of something, showing that he's incomplete. This was more ideas. I played around with that whole belt top thing, crop tops. Some of the inspiration was even from Stain from MHA near the end, because I was like, oh wait, his design kind of, like, is giving Stain. Then here's the last page I ended up going with. I just took some ideas from the other pages that I had, and, focus. Okay, from the other pages that I had, and kind of went with them, experimented, and yeah. So our next guy, again, doesn't have a name. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments for me. As I've mentioned, his inspo is literally from VK, which I don't listen to, but I do really like the fashion because I find it interesting. I wouldn't dress that way, but, like, I do like it. But anyway, he's our antagonist. I wanted him to look sad. Like, sad. I'm sorry. His whole thing is kind of being sad, and he's very dry. And that thing when people say things that they don't actually mean, then it's supposed to be funny, which I don't really understand how it's supposed to be funny, but he would do that a lot too. I'm thinking that he could be, like, a local artist to the area, meaning that he does like to work in cafes, or he does gigs. I'm not really sure. I mean, VK is, like, a whole music thing, so he'd probably be a guitarist. I have some guitar stuff saved to his Pinterest board, so I think I might go for the music artist. He's a part of a band. He's the lead guitarist, and he's very influential. He is a smooth talker. Therefore, people are just like, oh, wait, why is he low-key kind of hot? Like, why do I kind of want to be his best friend right now? So, yeah. When I was designing him, I did think, wait, this is low-key kind of giving Hatsune Miku. And, you know, I just went with it. I don't care anymore. To be cringe is to be free. We love Hatsune Miku here. In this house, we love Hatsune Miku. So, like, why should I be ashamed of that? Also, I don't have a sketchbook right now, so that's why all the little clips that I put in where I was kind of being like, hey, this is what I did to brainstorm, were in my notebook. So, basically, his whole story is that he used to be a Cupid. Like, the good Cupids. However, he had a little bad relationship that kind of turned sour, and he was just like, you know what? I'm so sick of this. I'm just gonna turn to the dark side. That's basically his whole thing. And so, like, he doesn't truly mean it, which is when we may or may not have him either trying to influence, which is when we are either gonna see him try and influence our main character to be like, you know, you and me, we're the same. We both don't really see the point of this. This is pointless. Join our side. You'll feel so much happier. And you see, not everyone's gonna be great in a relationship. I think that he's gonna be super nuanced, and he's gonna be like, yeah, not everyone's gonna be great in relationships. Some people just shouldn't be in one. And this is gonna make some of the people mad. They're gonna be like, dude, no. We put so much time and effort into our matchmaking. And then they have all these opposite not so Cupids come into here and try and take away one of their best Cupids. I was also thinking that maybe he could also be like a part of some sort of tiny league, because as I said, there is more not so Cupids than Cupids right now, and I really didn't know what to do for his pants for his regular outfit. Again, I forgot to give them their wings. Also, if you're wondering why his skin tone on his work outfit is different than his regular outfit, then it's because the more he gets into his little form, the more inhumane he becomes. I actually end up getting him some little tattoo on his arm under one of his armbands, and I add a little more asymmetry into the design so that, once again, it can be accentuated. He is incomplete, he's sad, he doesn't like this life, but he does have some valid reasons to not want to be a Cupid. However, in his heart, he knows for sure that if he just joined them, he'd like it again, but he's just a little bitter. So in case I didn't make it clear, on the right is their regular outfit that they wear when they're out and about in the human world, being human, and on the left is where they have their little work outfit where they start fighting in. So again, kind of like magical girls. But also, I just want to mention, there are little pops of red that added to his design to be like a little nod to his old life that he is craving. You have it on his gloves to be like, oh, he still does things that Cupid would do. Like, in his day-to-day life, he still tries to, like, set up maybe his friends together and be like, oh, they'd be a cute match. But anyway, in all honesty, I don't really like his design. I'll probably redo it at some point. But for now, that's it. If you're watching this on February 16th, happy Louis Real Day. And if you're not watching this on February 16th, then I know this is late. So, like, I don't care. This is just for fun. Anyway, so I'll probably be making more content of these OCs, so have a great day. Goodbye.